Morning, good morning, good morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. I am first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week in the mornings, chat about what's going on, of course, in the world of weather. Hopefully get your day started off on the right note and, of course, get you updated in terms of the world of weather. It is so beautiful. And as I'm kind of reflecting on the idea that these temperatures are not going to be here all that much more, I'm decided I've got to do Coffee Talk outside a little bit. So here we are. I hope you're doing well this morning. Just dropped Eric off at school. I'm going to run and go see Alexander before work. Parenting. Yeah, Alexander is still in the hospital. Still fighting his infection, poor little guy. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. That's where I am. I hope you're doing well. In terms of weather, there are two big things that we are monitoring this morning. First and foremost, doesn't take a rocket scientist to know it is absolutely beautiful. We've got that beautiful bright sunshine, but I do want to be very clear that these temperatures are not here to stay. The bright sunshine will continue, but the cool air will be filtering out little by little by little over these next couple of days as temperatures are going to be climbing. That's okay, though. We could handle that. Let's take a live look outside. That's Disney Springs, a place I certainly would love to be today. It's a beautiful day to head out to the attractions. Bright sunshine, comfortably cool temperatures through the day. I will point out that the temperatures will climb. We'll be in about the same ballpark as yesterday. And I also want to point out the fact that we're going to be just as gusty as yesterday. So I don't know that balloon's going to be spending much time up and about. Temperatures out the door look like this. Absolutely lovely. We were in the 40s in Marion County just a little bit ago. We've, of course, brought those temperatures up in reaction to the sun. We're at 55 there now in Ocala. It's 54 degrees in the Villages. Good morning to you. It's 60 degrees in Leesburg, 65 in Orlando, and into the mid and upper 60s from Flagler to Volusia County, 70s for you. Back over to Brevard County, of course, that onshore wind. Anytime you bring breezes in off the ocean, it helps to keep your temperatures warmer. So notice our shoreline communities at or even a little warmer than they were yesterday, whereas our inland communities, away from that ocean influence, are cooler. It's noticeably cooler. It is noticeably sunny. It's just a beautiful forecast. So where do we go from here, right? That's the question we're all curious about, and it looks great. 73 degrees, our 11 o'clock temperature, 77 by 1 o'clock, and we'll hit 80 degrees before things start to drop off, of course, from there. So it's looking like a great day. But again, I think, and you'll see this is going to be a focal point on Coffee Talk today, which is seriously, we need to enjoy this weather because these days are going away. You know, like the days where I'm doing the long sleeves because it's a little cool out, few and far between. It's going to be, think about it, it's going to be hurricane season before you know it. It's going to be summer before you know it. The thunderstorms are going to be rolling in every afternoon before you know it. And it'll still be nice outside. It's just not going to be like, so nice. It's going to be that little different, that humid deal. Chris, so what you're saying is that summer's coming. Yeah, this is my, what's the word I'm looking for? This is my subtle, not so subtle way of saying that summer's coming. Yeah. Nice. Love the cool weather, not the allergies. Now that I will agree with. Absolutely. Frank, what? It's going to get warmer in Florida? No way. I know. Oh, I know. This weather's not going to last. And then there's Mr. Rodas. We just don't know. It'll only be a few months before we start talking about that, right, buddy? Yeah. It's chilly today, Pam says. Good morning to you, Pam. I hope you're doing well. Janet, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Joynikia, good morning. Absolutely perfect outside this morning in Melbourne, and I'll agree. I'm in Winter Park, and it's absolutely beautiful here. Marie, good morning. Debbie, good morning to you. Arnett, good morning to you. Anna, good morning. All right, so we know it's lovely, right? But where do we go this afternoon, neighborhood by neighborhood? Let's talk about our forecast temperatures, shall we? We'll start off great. What are you barking at, Stella? But we'll get to about 80 degrees once again. We hit 80 degrees yesterday, so it's not all that different, right? We'll do about the same today in the city. 80 degrees in Leesburg, 80 degrees in Claremont. Notice along the shoreline, just like this morning's onshore wind keeps your temperatures a little bit milder, this afternoon, inverse. It keeps your temperatures cooler. Why is that? It all has to do with the ocean temperature, okay? So ocean temperatures are in the mid-70s. So tonight, or, well, we'll just say last night, mid-70s ocean, as the temperature dropped below into the 60s everywhere else, that mid-70s air kind of moderated the beaches. Whereas this afternoon, when everybody else is hitting 80, those mid-70 degree water temperatures will keep the coastal communities cooler. I know that I always say this and I always explain it, but it's kind of an interesting thing because when you think about it, the ocean having such an influence, until I got into weather, I didn't quite grasp that. I didn't quite understand that. And it's just kind of one of those fascinating things. So for what it's worth, I always like to explain it because I think it is a very fascinating thing. Paul, good morning to you from Boston. Bright sun 50. Going to do some gardening. That sounds very nice. I like it. Arnett, good morning to you, my dear. Beverly, summer's coming. It is coming indeed. Dana, good morning to you. Happy hump day. Barb, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Janice, love your shirt. You look dapper this morning. Well, thank you. Let me just adjust my tie a little bit. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Send that warm weather to New York. I know. Meanwhile, we're sitting pretty. The rest of the country is kind of stuck in this winter's weather pattern, which, to them, this is going to sound a little, raw, but like, y'all signed up for it, Look, there were a few minutes in my career where I looked at living in New York and I was like, I don't know how excited about this weather I'm going to be, But at the end of the day, I didn't choose to go. I kind of stuck it around here in Florida. So I'm grateful for that myself. But yeah, the other parts of the country definitely dealing with a big chill. Let's take a look at the bigger perspective and just see what's doing right now, okay? So high pressure in our area. We do have some storms firing up across the nation's midsection. Another storm system coming into the Pacific Northwest, but across the Northeast United States, at least the snow is clearing the area, and that's something, right? Diane says HVAC season is coming, y'all. Prepare those ACs. It's true. I'll tell you this. I learned this from my stepfather. Have a service contract with an air conditioning company that you trust. And we've talked about this on Coffee Talk. Have a service contract. It's a few $100s well spent, in my opinion, every year. If you're a homeowner, you don't want to be stuck without air conditioning in the summer. And you don't want to be stuck without heating in the winter. So I think I pay $200 a year, and it lets a local air conditioner. I'm not going to say who because we're not sponsored. I'm not giving free advertising, but they come in and they just check it twice a year, make sure we're good to go. Because if the thing breaks down, that's a problem. I only have one AC unit on my house. Some people have like 10 monster houses. I don't have that. But I do want to make sure that it's working. The last thing I want is a 4-year-old who complains about everything anyway to complain about the temperatures in addition to. Yeah. Janet says, signed up for. Some were born there and didn't find the out as they were doing well. You know what I'm saying, Janet? I'm not... Hey, Gavolt, lighten up, people. Please. You live a certain place, you sign up for the weather. I was born in Central Florida. I signed up for the weather. I know what I got. Ay. Come on. Tiffany says we just had our AC man maintenance hours. Good to go. Yeah, it's a couple of dollars well spent in my humble opinion. Let's talk about it because summer is right around the corner. 62 days away from the technical start of summer. Summer solstice we're talking about. That's June 21st. Now, that said, there's another term we use for summer, which is meteorological summer, and that happens to fit on the exact same day as hurricane season. Hurricane season, 42 days away, and we are just a couple of days away from the beginning of meteorological summer. So it's not that far away. Yes, we're enjoying cool temperatures, but I do want to point out that these cool temperatures really are more and more a rarity. Today started off in Orlando at 60. Some areas were in the 40s. Average high temperature this time of year is 61, so we are below that. That's the April temperatures. Today's afternoon high in Orlando, we're forecasting 80 degrees. The average April high temperature, 84 degrees. Below average. And obviously, as we push more and more to summer, we're going to continue to push those averages up. May's average temperature, morning low of 66, daytime high of 88. And then we keep going from there and there and there. And you know how summer goes. So, for what it's worth, we're heating from here. We may get another taste of cool. We may get another taste of cool. We may not. That's why we need to enjoy this weather. You know what I mean? That's all. That's why we need to enjoy this weather, because these days, few and far between going forward. Don says, good morning. Long sleeves this morning, then short sleeves. No problem. Yeah, I've got the long sleeves rolled up. If I need to roll them down, I will. But yeah. Beverly, good morning to you. I was schooled how cool it was this morning. It's okay. Jessica says, summer is a dirty word in my household. Yeah. So that's just a comparison on a little bit. If we look at meteorological summer, okay, so that's June, July, and August. If we look at those average temperatures, let me show them to you. If we look at meteorological summer, the average temperatures, obviously, 90s. Morning lows, 70s, right? So that is right around the corner. I can't tell you enough. And I struggle in the same realm, because I'm like, I've got my pool. I want to go in said pool. I want to go play. But at the same time, I look at this and I'm like, that is right around the corner. I do need to kind of savor the flavor a little bit of the cooler temperatures. Just a little bit. I just need to enjoy what we've got. That's all. Right? That's, at the end of the day, that's where we're at. What I want to see is what Eric's pool looks like. Michael, you want to see what my pool looks like? Well, I've got the cover on it right now. But, yeah, so the pool cover's on. Because it's heated. It's 87 in there. It's probably like 83, 84 now. But the pool cover, another little thing is, if you're like me and you like to keep a nice warm pool, this is a way to keep cheap. Throw a pool cover on top. It keeps your temperatures... And while we're just entering it up, I'm going to pop up the 7-day forecast, and then we can go back deep diving. But it keeps the temperatures warmer in the pool, and it prevents as much evaporation. You still have evaporation, but it prevents a lot of evaporation, okay? So, for what it's worth. Yeah, this time of year, I keep the pool cover on, and during the summer months, the pool cover goes away. And actually, it kind of works because this pool cover has been out for a year. It is shredding from the sun damage. So I've got another one in the garage. I've already bought it, and we'll be replacing it. This summer when I pull the pool cover out for the season. And I've got a roller so it can kind of come and go as I need. But pro tip, if you run a heater, it's actually a dramatic difference with a pool cover and without a pool cover, whether it's a propane heater, whether it's solar, anything, okay? And then I, like on a day like today where I'm not using the pool, I'll keep the solar cover or the pool cover on, and it kind of acts as like a solar blanket, keeping it warm. So, yeah. I'm not going to say that I'm the smartest dude in the world, but like I pick up things. So, pick that one up. All right. So, forecast this week. I told you these temperatures are not along for the ride, right? Like today, great. Tomorrow, great. Friday, great. Saturday, Sunday, showers, not as great. Monday, Tuesday, 90, not as great. Right? It's fine, but the cool isn't really going to be with us. Okay? Yeah. Michael, love it. That's another reason I want to live in Florida. You guys have nice pools in Lanai. Well, thank you. This is I always tell Jeannie, this is my favorite room in the house. And it's not in the house. It's the back. This has been, she's really, the only thing that she didn't let me get, I wanted to get on the pool, I wanted to get like a built-in jacuzzi. When we were building this house, I wanted a built-in jacuzzi. And she said no. And that was the only thing that I lost the battle on. Compromise, I guess, right? But I'd say just about everything else I've ever dreamt of and wanted out here, we've saved and we've gotten. So, this is absolutely my favorite room in the house. Absolutely my favorite room in the house. The outside area. I love it. I love it. Michael, here's another question. Why do all Florida houses have the metal frames over the pool? Well, they don't all. It's for bugs. I don't want to deal with bugs in here. And they sometimes get in, but it keeps it a little more at bay. And then at night, my pool cage has, you can't really tell, but my pool cage at night on the beams has lights. So it's like I'm getting string lights put on behind, but the pool cage itself has lights built in. So you can't really tell they're there during the day, but every night at night they turn on. So anyway, nerd stuff. Yeah. His favorite room is not in the house. Yeah. Barb, it's called Phomestic tranquility. I've literally never heard that term. Now I need to Google phomestic tranquility, Barb. Hold on. Let me pretend that I'm smart for a moment and Google that. Oh, do you mean domestic tranquility? Domestic tranquility. Oh, now that makes sense. I'll take it. Susie says, and tree frogs and gators. We had a snake in the pool at one point. Yeah. Denise, I love that my backyard backs up to big oak trees and provides nice shade when temps go up. Yeah. Elizabeth, we're doing a tub to shower renovation. Safety first for seniors, jacuzzi help when you're older. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Absolutely. It's horrible and miserable not to have one. I don't have one. Are you talking about the pool cage? Yeah, I will say the pool cage is. We could have said when we were building, like literally a pool cage. If we didn't get these are not cheap. These stupid cages. We could have gotten the jacuzzi built into our pool for the cost of the pool cage, essentially. Got to work, but we set our budget, and we were within. I think, ironically, when we were building this house, we were within like $10 or $100 on the house, like of our budget. We didn't go over. We did not go over the budget. I'm cheap. I mean, I'm not cheap. It's all about the budget, Kim says, makes sense that a weatherman would love the outdoor room. It's true. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. I wanted to say that so far this month, Becca says, I've lost 6 pounds. Still have a long way to go. Yeah, you have. Congratulations. I love that. What kind of pool cover do I have? What is it? I just bought it on Amazon. It's I want to say it's like the brand is Fun in the Sun something. My pool is 12 by 24, so thankfully that's exactly what it came as. Yeah. I'll tell you, the second that I bought my pool heater, the guy that installed the pool heater gave me one of these pool covers and was like, you want one of these? He's like, I'll give it to you. And then after that spring season, I had to throw it away. It was shredded from the sun damage. So, it's like $100 for a 12 by 24 pool cover. And when it comes out in the winter, I know that by spring, when it's time to throw it away, it's shredded. It's done. So this one will be done. I've got another one that I'll have to deal with. And and it's so big. Think about it. It's 12 by 24 that I also immediately invested in that roller. Because I used to try and do it myself, and I'm just not, maybe I'm not man enough. I don't know. You can pick on me. But that roller, you roll it up, and then you can unroll it, and it becomes a one-person job. And that's the whole idea. So, yeah. My brother Frank says, I may be thrifty, but I'm not as bad as Jason. That's true, because at least I spend the money. I budget for it, save for it, spend it. He budgets for nothing, saves for it all, spends nothing. But there's something good about that, too. you know? Shannon says, my childhood home didn't have a screen over it. I remember having to check the entire pool and skimmer for snakes and other critters before getting in, getting the net, scooping them out, and tossing them over the fence. I've had to do that too. Even with the pool cage, it probably prevents a lot of it. But I've caught snakes. No, one snake. I caught one little snake. One little snake. Janice says, staying on budget is not cheap. It's smart. That's how anything gets done, right? Like, that's how I was able to build this house. You know, you budget, you wait, you save, and then you do it. And you're smart about, I have to do some trimming on my hedges now that I'm sitting here. I haven't sat out here for a little bit. Yeah. My in-laws got a heater for their pool up here in Connecticut. It was so worth it. Can have the pool open more. I would say that there's probably 3 months of the year that my pool is not running here. Like November, December, January, February. Like 3 or 4 months out of the year that my pool is closed for business. Every other month, yeah. Pool's basically open. Chris says Jason is going to be a gazillionaire. Now that's true. Jason is going to be a gazillionaire, and I can pick on him all I want, but he's going to be a gazillionaire. Everybody has their own path, I suppose. Annie says, we decided not to do a pool and get a bigger boat. I do love my outliving, though, so much. Hey, no judgment there. You've got a boat. I do not have a boat. I was thinking of getting a poor man's boat. Did I tell you about this? I was thinking about I found, you're going to laugh at me. Poor man's boat, okay? And I reallocated funds, so it's not happening for this summer. You know what I bought with the poor man's boat money? Those Adirondacks. Those Adirondacks are the poor man's boat money. So, anyway. But what was I going to do? I was going to get a poor man's boat. It was going to be... my neighborhood has a canoe launch. They don't have a boat ramp. And on the back of the neighborhood, we're on a lake. But you can't launch a boat. So I'm like, well, I don't really have space to store a canoe or a kayak, but I want to take advantage of that lake. So what do? So I started looking on YouTube. I would love your input, and I don't know that I've shared this with you, but you can straight up make fun of me if you want. Intex has like a dinghy. It's a few $100s, and you can inflate it, you can deflate it. So I'm like, okay, so a few $100s to inflate and deflate, and then they've got a motor mount, and then you could put like a trolling motor on it. And you could put a bimini top on it. And I'm like, okay, so for a few $100s, I get a poor man's boat. I could put it in the little canoe kayak launch, and I could take the kids out on the lake. They're still young, and, we don't need to do that this year. We could do that next year. But for fairly low investment, we spend an hour on the lake, and, we pretend we have a boat. So, anyway, it's... money got reallocated, so it's not happening this year. But maybe next year. Michael says the pools are up here are open for 3 months. Yeah. Well, that's why we live in Florida. Elizabeth, we had a gator in our pool. Good gravy. My kids were traumatized when wow, I would imagine so. Carolyn says you can have my boat, but it's in New Hampshire. Yeah. You could have got a plane instead of the pool. Well, see, Jason's going to be a gazillionaire, but I know how to fly airplanes, right? Janice says, that is a poor man's boat, but it sounds fun. Hey, if I could take the kids out on the water for 20 minutes, for an hour, it's not one of those, like, boats that you put in your pool. Like, it's an actual dinghy. Like, it's like the Mariner 4 is what I think it's called. Like, it's an actual, like, it's a hardy material, But I'm like, hey, for a couple of $100s to do that. I've seen those Intex type boats. I say try it. They're cute. Yeah, but again, it's not like a raft you put in your pool. It's not like a $25 raft. It's several $100s. It's a strong, sturdy material. It's like a whitewater rafting kind of thing. Go for it, Skipper. I'll buy you a captain's hat. Ay vey. When the budget... When my capital expenses come back open, we'll budget for that. We haven't for now. Yeah. I would not trust an inflatable boat. Again, it's a smallish lake that we live on. We don't, I mean, I live on a pond, but the neighborhood backs up to, so I think it would be okay. I think it would be okay. I've spent plenty of time. I grew up going to a summer camp on this lake, so I know my way around the lake. At least I did 20 years ago. But it's got a bunch of chambers. It's like I said, it's like a whitewater rafting dinghy kind of thing. Jan says, boat, break out another 1,000, unless the whole thing is less than $1,000. Poor man's boat. That's what I'm going for. See you, Elizabeth. Be good. Tiffany says that poor man's boat sounds cool. Seriously, look it up. Catherine, could a gator bite deflate the boat? Sure. Could Sasquatch come out and get the boat? Sure. I could tell you I've kayaked on this lake, and there are gators. I've canoed on this lake. I was 10 years old at a summer camp canoeing on this lake. Could a gator bite at the canoe? Sure. During the day, they're on the shoreline for most of the time. And even if they're in the water, you're making noise, they're afraid of you. Beverly says, when little Eric goes into pre-K, you will get rich. That's not wrong. I mean, relatively speaking, when my kids get out of daycare, I'm going to feel like I got a huge pay raise. You're Catherine Sasquatch. I mean, I'm just saying. Not that Sasquatch lives here, but you know what I'm saying. Jan says, yeah, you say LOL. That's where it starts. See, but I think that I'm practical enough that I would stop. I think I would stop at the level. I think I'm practical enough. Who knows? Maybe I'm not. I think I am. Maybe I'm not. Yeah. I don't know. We had one of the inflatable hot tubs, and it was a tease, made me want a real hot tub. Yeah, I would say that when we were in our other house, we had an inflatable pool. You can make fun of me. We've talked about it a lot on Coffee Talk. We had an inflatable pool. Didn't have a real pool. I wanted a pool. I bought one of the tiny pools, and it just was nothing. So I bought, and we've talked about it. It was like a 8-foot diameter circular inflatable pool. It's funny, I put it up in the back, and I told Jeannie, I was like, we cannot tell anybody that we have this, because at the time I was embarrassed. And then as soon as I put it up and I had a pool, I kind of said, I don't really care. We could tell everybody that we have this, and they can make fun all they want. But I think it was $40, and I think the greatest weekend of my year in that other house was when I stuck the hose in the back and filled up my inflatable pool. And you know what? My brother came over to use my inflatable pool. His in-laws came over to use the inflatable pool. You call it what you want, but it worked. Yeah, just saying. Just saying. Shark attack, Janice. Well, every time little Eric sees a pond, he's like, there are sharks in there, right? No, Eric, there's not. I think there are sharks in there, Daddy. Okay. Janet's the land shark. Mark says the train is up. See, that's what happens on I feel like we always start Coffee Talk with good intentions. We always start talking about the weather, and then, boo, the train goes right off the tracks. Debbie says, boys and their toys, you guys forget practical. I think I'm being practical. I'm trying to go low. Look, we're not going to use a boat a ton, so why would I get a boat when you could get a poor man's boat, an inflatable dinghy with a trolling motor? Leave the trolling motor battery on a trickle charger in the garage. Don't have to store gas. See? And the inflatable boat, you can put it on a shelf. The trolling motor, you can put it on the wall. It takes almost no space. See? That's practicality. No? I think it is. Am I wrong? As long as you can outswim the Sasquatch, you'll be good. The train really is off the tracks, isn't it? Good gravy. Nancy, you need to get a battery-operated boat for your lake. The boys would love it. We have one, and it's really fun. See, that's all I want. Poor man's boat. I don't need a big fancy ski nautique or even a jet ski. I mean, I would love a ski nautique. I'd love a jet ski, but I don't need it. Right? Denise, you only go through this life once. Enjoy it. That is my motto. You get one shot at it. You get one shot at life. That's all. That's all. Catherine, sharks and Sasquatch in your pond. You can observe from your Adirondacks. Well, and Miss Coons, wait until you see May 2nd. We're getting string lights over the Adirondacks, and they'll be color changing. We'll have to invite you over. I think anything to do with your kids is worth it. Absolutely. Anywhere there's water, there's gators. Agreed. Agreed. Michael says, as a conductor, the train is fine. Thank you, sir. Do I call you Conductor Michael? Like, what's the term so that we can use you as the official for if the train is on or off the tracks here? Nancy says, I sink ours all the time. The turtles don't help. Well, but is yours like a PVC vinyl dinghy kind of thing? Kristen says, I love to boat. I had boats, and if we don't a lot, it's not worth it. Jet ski I'm going to get. Yeah, I mean, I think when the kids get older, I'll get a jet ski and all that stuff. But for now, I think for now, the poor man's boat's good. That's all. We had one of my kids loved it. Chris Pierce did a video to show us how to put it up. Oh, the inflatable pool. Where do you think? Wasn't I the one that told you to get the inflatable pool? I'm pretty sure Chris Pierce has seen my inflatable pool too. I know that there was a point in time where I was just like, guys, I got to tell you about this best $50 investment I ever made. And I'm pretty sure I showed everybody on Coffee Talk, but I think Chris actually saw it in person. So, Sandy, making memories important. That's true. That's true. Murray, live each day as if it were your last. Never take life for granted. That's true. That's true. So enjoy it. All right, it's 8:32. We've yentered it up enough, right? Right? Yeah. And long story. Amtrak conductor Mike. Okay. Amtrak conductor Mike says the train is still on the tracks. Oh, Nancy, nope. It's a 12-inch remote controlled. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, got it. Got it. Yeah, well, the poor man's boat is not in the budget, so it's not happening this year. Or at least not this quarter. Maybe next quarter. Like midsummer. Midsummer, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. At any rate, 7-day forecast. Let's bring the train back on the track, and then we'll say goodbye. Okay? Going on a cruise Saturday, waves okay? I would say that the waves are going to be better than they are now, honestly. Yeah. I would say that the weather's going to look better now. Even though there's a couple of showers, the wave action will calm down. Thomas, could we see the LRC for Southeast Florida? I don't know. I guess I just don't know what you mean. Like hurricane season? I don't know what you mean. Temperatures climbing these next couple of days, my friends. Bright sunshine right through Earth Day, but by the weekend there will be a few showers, and into early next week, upper 80s and lower 90s return. All right? All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you today for the 3:30 update. Yeah. All right? Sound good? Thomas, yes, for hurricane season. Real quick. Thomas, it's also available. Go to wesh.com. Go to wesh.com, click on the Hurricanes tab, and you can get the entire write-up, including the 45-minute Coffee Talk from that day where we discussed. But there's the LRC hotspots for this year. Okay, Florida hotspot number 1. Hotspot number 2 is the Coastal Carolinas. Wesh.com/hurricanes or Wesh 2 mobile app. Click on the Hurricanes tab, and that will give you everything. All right? All right, see you guys at 3:30. Be the